taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
At least, of course, unless you've been under a rock, you already know the history between these two. Marshall is the only one to have beaten Shields in a boxing match, amateur or pro.
Yes, and then beating her clearly if you have a decent boxing eye.
Yeah, because now, if I think too, and I agree with someone who says they shouldn't have been released because the selling point of this fight is Marshall's the only one to have beaten Shields. But to release the footage of that amateur fight and stuff like that, it's just like, it kind of takes away from the mystique of the fight. Because I remember before, like, I'm
not gonna lie, Pat, it sucked the wind out of it for me a little bit.
Yeah, because I remember before HBO, before Forrest Mosley won, they were asking people if they actually recorded the footage from the '92 Olympics. Even though the Olympics has the actual footage, they can easily ask them for that. Or because it was done on actually '92 was done on pay-per-view. I still remember that shit, Red, White, and Blue channel. But then they were asking people if they had the footage to that because they wanted to air it, and no one aired it. And then so it's like, will history repeat itself? And sure enough, it did. 2 times, and then it's and then we got the adage that sometimes this one fight you just can't beat. And that was mostly couldn't beat Forrest.
It's been clips and shit. This is never really like in the best quality like how they presented it. Because once they put it up here, the whole thing, that shit had got taken down.
Right.
Other people been uploading it. Because I've always only seen like certain little clips. And from it looked like, I was just like, damn, it's kind of like she kind of tamed Shields. And from what I see.
Yeah. I mean, it's more or less, it's more or less whether you like the activity or the accuracy of that.
See, and that's the thing. Like, when I rewatched it again today, and I seen the comments people had, and I don't mind them showing that. To me, it didn't do nothing to the fight. The fight is the fight. Like, Sean Porter Thurman sparring session did nothing to make me not want to see that, because I knew stylistically that was going to be a great fight. Like, I'm glad the amateur shit was put out there so people could see how much they improved and see that the fight dynamic will still really be the same. It's going to be Claressa Shields. It's going to be still the quicker one. She's going to be coming toward Marshall, and she's going to be flailing and trying to force exchanges because she's not good at single shots. And what's going to happen is Marshall is going to try to disrupt her with the jab and then try to let off a fucking right hand. And if Shields gets too close, she's going to bang into the body. And if you see it, that low key happened in the amateur fight, and they low key still fight the same way.
Although I think Marshall kind of improved a little bit for
the more than Shields did, because Marshall had more to improve on.
More room for improvement, more improvement. Well.
Exactly, where Shields, all she had to do was just it's just like how we say with Andy Ruiz, like. He lose weight and get disciplined. He's a better fighter. You ain't got to teach him nothing new. Shields, she moved her head enough, make her head movement quicker. That's better. And I guess the punching thing, that's just who she is. I don't think you'll just change that. Like I could say my opinion, but it don't really matter. Shout outs to Android for the good insight. But I guess I was that maybe it was probably in regards to the Baumgartner mayor, but I guess I could say all that shit and niggas would still just be like, you a motherfucker that just draw pictures on the podcast. So I feel like Claressa Shields, she doesn't punch with her hips enough and her body.
Oh yeah, and we talked about this before. Like, I mean, she
gives the impression that she's punching hard because they're quick and they're chaotic. But if you remember the amateur fight, Marshall blocked a lot of those punches, and you see those single shots which were the clean shots. People were scoring that fight like a pro fight instead of an amateur fight. And I think that's what fucked up everybody viewing of it. And they're saying Shields won that and it was a robbery. Honestly, look at it. I think that's how niggas was really looking at that shit.
Yeah. But now we in the pros, and in the pros, Marshall is one of the top 5 punchers, maybe top 3 punchers in the sport today. Like she's a big broad that knocks people out. You know, she has power in both.
Broads.
You gotta be politically correct, Pat. You can't say the B word.
I didn't say the B word. You know,
I don't know, like we just been killing that word. These broads. Yeah. Man, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. That's respectfully. I don't use the other B word. You know, so it's like, you know. But yeah, she has. You know, Marshall has hands with both. She punches like a pro. And where Shields, as you mentioned before, her punching reminds me of Tim Bradley so much. That's why, I couldn't stand Timmy when he was fighting, because it's like
than Tim Bradley. So they look more effective, I guess.
Right, but and not to say that Claressa Shields hasn't had any entertaining fights. She's had entertaining fights, but it's kind of hard to. But when you call yourself the GWOAT, it's kind of hard to do this. But when you've only knocked down one fighter in your whole career once,
she don't gotta knock him out. Yeah, she don't have to. I mean, it's working. So what she's doing is working. Yes.
Let's see it work Saturday, because
it will.
I've seen the little preview, the little
I mean, she is gonna be on Savannah's home turf. You know, do not forget that.
Right, yeah, the home turf, and then I think Shields,
which one is it black girl lost or shorty owe you for gold medals?
I mean, because I mean everyone knows. I mean, obviously people will be, you know, on any given situation, if Shields was a puncher, then niggas will be like, oh yeah, you know, Shields, Shields will punch her out. But, you know, just like they do when, you know, any conversation with Wilder comes in. But the fact that Shields is not a puncher, has like a 12% KO rate or some shit like that, it's like, well, she doesn't need it. She's the GWOAT. She boxes all this. Like, it's good that you can point out weaknesses in the game. Marshall has weaknesses in the game. She has slow feet. She's not that fast. Doesn't mean that she has bad footwork. She's slow, you know. Yeah. But it's just like, you know, people will say this, that, and the third because, you know, UK this, UK that. But you get on Shields' case, and you know some of the things that she does, like, oh Shields, why are you doing that? That's the GWOAT. She had 2 gold medals, blah 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 blah. You know, and
Shields, like, honestly, I feel like, I know King P brought it up in the chat, like, so is this the Baumgartner Mayer is the 50-50 fight for you, right? Or,
yes, this one, yes, that one's the 50-50 fight. Yeah, this one isn't close to me. This one is not close to me. I'm going Shields with a wide decision. I'll put anything on that. I just feel that Marshall is a good boxer. She has skills, but I just feel like outside of the height advantage and the reach advantage, which are big advantages for her, it's offset by her hand speed or lack thereof, her footwork or lack thereof. I don't know what her stamina is like, because, like, here's the thing, Shields could pressure her, and I don't know if he could fight her on the inside off that well. And
wait, on the like, dude, Marshall is murdered on the inside. Do you see?
But I'm saying Shields, against a pressure fight, like, Shields will pressure her and dig up in her. That sounds weird, but you get like pause. Like I'm saying, like, she hasn't dealt with that kind of, like, because that output that Shields has. Like, I don't know if she can last the whole 10.
It's ineffective output. It's a lot of flailing, and what you do, honestly, like, this is gonna be a Kessler type fight. Like Marshall is gonna just time her with 1-2s, man. I'm telling you, like,
if she can time her.
Look, Claressa Shields gonna be moving her head. That's the thing. Like, in the first step, if she could cut distance and get right on Marshall, what's going to happen is they're gonna end up locking up, and it'll be like a Sean Porter type of roughhouse fight because they're gonna smother themselves. Claressa Shields doesn't have inside game. She's gonna smother herself and fight like Sean Porter, and all Marshall's gonna have to do, she's gonna have to take a step backward or take a step forward and clinch or just rip body shots herself. And she throws better body shots on the inside than Shields. Shields is the perfect style for Marshall to fight. Like, Shields is made, you want somebody who isn't good at single punches and they have to throw combinations to damn get you. They're shorter than you.
I feel like I feel like if somebody can get Shields to lower her output, they could beat her. But if they can't make her lower her output, she's just too much. You want his power, lack of power and all.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, Savannah Marshall, for her style, she doesn't have to throw a crazy amount of punches. Because when she's gonna land on Shields, they're gonna be impactful, like thudding, like boom. They're gonna be like showy type punches, just like the amateur fight. She was landing left hooks, 1s and 2s, and uppercuts on Shields. Not to say Shields was up with her, and Shields' best shots were in exchanges. She only had maybe a few shots where she landed a good hook or a right hand coming forward.
And what's also, like I said, Marshall also has a good chin. Marshall has not been down, and I don't even think I've even seen her rocked for any.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this is a hard fight for Shields. Like the only way, like the game plan King P described for Baumgartner is the way Shields would have to fight Marshall, and I feel like Shields is more equipped to fight that fight than Baumgartner is for Mayer, because Baumgartner gets discouraged faster than Shields does. Shields never gets discouraged, but she's never been hurt like she could get hurt with Marshall. It was with Baumgartner, that's more front runner. I can't get you out of there. Let me just sporadically hit you with shots until the bell ring. Awesome zap shit, really. And y'all niggas laughing, but y'all see the fights. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like,
no, I get it.
Yeah, and then Andrea said Marshall has that weird Fury BGS boxing ability. Yeah, isn't she trained by a Fury too?
Yeah, she's trained by John Fury.
Exactly.
Is it Peter? Yeah. Or is it John or Peter? One of the Furies are training.
I think John or Peter. Let me see.
I think it's Peter. Or no, John. Big John Fury. I think it has to be John.
Hold up.
That's the dad, right?
I forget. One of them motherfuckers.
Yes, it's supposed to be Peter Fury. Yeah.
Peter Fury. God damn. My bad. But yeah, like one thing I like about Marshall, like that swaying technique she has, like it's almost like Tommy Hearns-ish, like where she just could rip the lead hand low, and that's a shot you need for someone who's a smaller fighter coming at you. So like she's gonna have to tame and corral Shields and time her to really win in my book. And she doesn't have to throw a lot of punches. She just has to throw enough punches, and there's a difference.
So she doesn't get overwhelmed by the activity.
Right, because they only have 2 minutes. Shields needs to just honestly do everything she can to push Marshall back and just keep attacking and keep swarming and being active. That's her best bet. And she do that continuously, and she could win a decision.
Right, yeah, but Shields, because I know Shields been talking that knockout shit, and that's not going to happen. Like,
she's not going to knock her out, but she don't need to.
She don't need to, and then she can't knock her out. The only way she knocks out is like she fucking just beats up on them. She could push her back and start tearing up the body with meaningful body punches, and keep pushing her back, and then later, launch them overhand rights that you launch on tall niggas when they start leaning back.
Which ironically was which was Timmy's best punch when he was flying, that overhand right.
Facts. If you look at when he rocked Carlos Abregu.
Yeah, he did that. He
rocked Junior Witter.
He dropped Junior Witter with that shit.
Edner Terry.
Yeah, he dropped Cherry with that shit too. Yeah.
Hold on, one more. Pacquiao. He lifted Pacquiao off his feet with that fucker.
Yeah. So he
didn't knock him down, but I remember. I think the second fight he hit Pacquiao with one of those. I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, no, but because unfortunately, Claressa Shields, none of her punches are anything like I said. I mean, the one knockdown didn't really show it's just more or less more of an accumulation of shots that finally got that actually dropped Hammer, but it's just like
she has a decent Juan Estrada-ish close range, straight, compact right hand. I'll give her that.
Right.
That's her best punch. If she could land it, good. But a lot of times she uses it to close distance and then she ends up flailing.
Right.
So it's different. Right. Like Tim Bradley closes distance with the jab and head move, and then he launches the overhand, kind of like Sean Porter.
Right.
And then just gets off the line, boom.
And then occasionally Bradley would also launch his head too.
Facts.
Yeah, but I mean, in this fight, let's say if Shields can actually knock out Marshall, it would easily be the most impressive victory of her career. Like super impressive. Like she's actually able to drop her in and knock her out.
I just find it funny how, and I'm not saying that Marshall isn't like a legit great puncher. She has power, but it's funny because the same thing you were saying about Baumgartner could be said about Marshall and her competition and who she's knocking out. She's knocking out people that had 50 losses. Like I'm saying, like I don't know.
But the thing with her is she has common opponents with Claressa Shields. Like 3.
No, that she does. And I know she knocked out Hannah Rankin, right?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that she doesn't have power, but she has a lot of she's feasted on a lot of no-hopers. So,
The difference is with her and Baumgartner, and Mayer keeps pointing it out, that where was she? At least you've seen Marshall on the amateur scene. She has some type of background. Baumgartner don't have that.
Fair point.
So even then, even if you compare them as, and they're both the B side, they're both the punchers, and looked at it in this fight, there's still levels. That's why Shields and Marshall is the bigger fight than Baumgartner, Mayer. No matter how many times they diss each other. It just doesn't have the history and the significance.
Whereas this is going to be obviously and also in this case because I mean we all know after 147 the women's boxing the competition gets real spotty. So for both of them need this fight more than anything.
Yeah.
And especially with Shields, as we mentioned before,
it's the best thing that happened to all 4 fighters.
Right, especially with Shields, because Shields obviously she's not on Showtime anymore because of that little incident with Ali Bashir, and then the independent pay-per-view, which I'm assuming did not do well since we didn't hear nothing about no numbers or anything.
Are you on report 12 numbers, nigga?
What I'm saying? So and like I said, Shields is and also Shields had also failed to catch on to any other promotion. She signed to slate of promotions, but for whatever reason, and they're not, and she hasn't got any real big fight. In the one fight she had
to do MMA, like 2 fights in MMA. Yeah,
exactly. So she definitely needed a fight like this too, because the spotlight is on her. Like if you want to call yourself the GOAT, you have to now perform like one against someone who's a formidable opponent. Someone who's actually beaten you before in the ring. So it's like I think she knows that the spotlight is huge on her. Like this can't be, you can't be fucking around on this. Like And Marshall needs it too because most people, I mean, Marshall gets the whole UK bum shit and shit like that. And I can't even tell you how many times I've read all this shit on Twitter or whatever. You know, with people like shitting on her, like, oh, she's slow, she's this, that, and the third. You know, but she can box and she can absolutely punch. So
people talk about like she's a wild. I mean, no offense, she's like a wilder, but she actually, I think she got better.
Yeah, no, she's not a wilder.
Way better boxing skills than Wilder.
Yeah, she's definitely not a wilder. She can box her ass off. But like I said, the selling point, which what makes the fight more, which fight is she's like she's a top 3 puncher in women's boxing today. Like she can. And it depends on whether or not Shields can actually take that power. So, I mean, I know for predictions, for me, I'm going to go with Marshall probably winning a decision over Shields. Like, it'll probably be a close decision. It'll probably be it's 10 rounds, not 12 rounds. And it'll probably be like a 96, 94-ish type of decision. But I think I think Marshall will win this one. Anyone else want to give a prediction?
Shields decision. So, I think Marshall's best chance is early. Like it's kind of, I'm just gonna say what LB said about Baumgartner. Best chance is early. As the fight goes on, I would favor Shields. Like, and because I don't think Marshall's been past 7. I don't know what her gas tank is like. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if she has the stamina to go like. If she's gonna carry her power late, like there's
Marshall's been 10 twice.
She has? I thought which one?
So this is the thing. Like, look, Marshall and Baumgartner are both punchers, but they're different types of punchers. Baumgartner is more front runner, athletic, need to bomb you out early, surprise you, speed, get the timing, maybe lull you, box a little bit with you, Marshall, she's not going to put out that type of energy like that. It's more subtle, more methodic, more just, okay, I'm going to just put hands on you and gradually put harder hands on you and more consistently more hands on you. And then pretty soon I'm beating the shit out of you and you drop. It's a different approach, man. And that type of approach, you can fight longer at that approach because you're not putting out that final output early. Baumgartner is putting her final output throughout the first 3, 4, 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's her peak. Marshall's peak builds throughout the fight, man.
Well, you are right, Pat. I don't know why I forgot that she did go the decision once. Actually, no, I see it twice.
And Shields by decision isn't some crazy shit. Like, this is a 50-50 fight to me. Just off the strength of Shields having quicker hands in the activity, and that could sway people like it's swaying people with the amateur fight. Because you got people who should know better, saying Shields got robbed.
Right.
I'm not gonna say it was a robbery. I don't think that Shields had a bad accounting of herself, but I'm not gonna say it's a robbery. That's an extreme.
And I agree with that.
My thing is, I forgot what I was gonna say.
That was quick.
I'm like, what the fuck? I forgot what I was gonna say. I had a brain fart. Fuck. It'll come back to me. I'm just. I had a thing, and then all of a sudden, it just left my mind.
Nah, but that's the thing. Is like, Shields could just win off activity and just sway niggas with that. It could be a close one. And the thing is, go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask, has outside of the Hannah Gabriel's fight, Shields hasn't been dropped before, right?
Right.
That was
right. Yeah.
So
she's been in dog fights though.
Because Hannah Gabriel's can punch, and she's at heavyweight now, and so I don't know. We'll see if that's a barometer.
Well, I will say this though. I mean, because Shields said the hardest puncher that ever hit her was Cruz Dezern, and that was their debut. And I remember that fight was those broncs were there you go. Those
broncs
they were throwing heat at each other, like real heat, like.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. Like Dezern, she's throwing. That's that whole Baumgartner approach, throwing everything behind your shots, throughout the fight. But the thing is, DeJean is more. She's not a front runner like Baumgartner, and I think it's because she's not as athletic, so she's burning up more. So DeJean could kind of slug it out through a whole fight. That's that Orlando Salido shit.
Yeah.
Whereas a guy like Berto and a Jermaine Taylor, they're burning up nervous energy, and they're using that speed and quickness to outbox you for like 8 rounds and try to maintain control over you through the rest of the fight while hanging on to diminishing stamina.
Mm-hmm.
Bars. Like Canelo's low key the same way.
Oh man. So Pilot, we haven't heard from you in a little bit, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah,
Pilot, bro, I'm gonna shut up.
LB said it all. I feel like I think Claressa Shields will win this fight. For the longest time I was thinking maybe Savannah will knock her out, but reading everybody wanting to see Claressa getting knocked out online, it's pretty terrible. No, really. I mean, like, you know what I mean? But no, but I mean, it can go either way. I mean, I hope she doesn't get robbed, on her opponent's turf. I don't think she will. I think she'll be able to outclass her, but I'm just worried, if she got the whiskers, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So,
I think Shields has the whisker.
Yeah,
Shields doesn't. I mean, one knockdown doesn't make.
No. Yeah, right. You're right. Yes, I mean, I picked Marshall.
I don't think nobody's getting knocked out with one punch.
Yeah. Maybe, no, I don't think so either. But I think I'll pick Shields by a decision, and it might be closer than it really is because she's away. But that's what I got.
Yeah, so we're split down the middle. All decisions. 2 decisions for Shields, 2 decisions for Marshall.
No, I got a KO, nigga.
Oh, yeah, excuse me, my bad. A decision for me, a KO for LB. For Marshall.
It's the same. I'm picking both Marshall and Mayer. Late KOs. Like maybe any like 8 round 9 or 8, 9, and 10 type rounds.
Right.
The way Pilot was leading it off, I thought he was gonna pick Marshall. I'm like, damn, I'm about to be on an island with.
He did sound like that.
Yeah, he's like, LB said it all. While LB is saying that Marshall's gonna win. That's LB said it all. I'm going for Shields. I'm like, what?
But he's referring to how I said Shields will win. Because it's highly possible the way she could win.
Yeah, being
like Shields ain't gonna get a knockout. I'll be surprised. Like if she wins a dog fight, it's because she got more activity behind it. Like everything how she could win is activity wise.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see her just pot shotting her and befuddling her. She's not gonna make it look like the Christina Hammer.
Right.
No, it'll be an aggressive slap fest, and it is what it is.
Yeah. Or the Tim Bradley.
Oh man, but yeah, I definitely can't wait for. I can't wait for this card. Like, it's definitely a different type of energy on this one. And it's just like, I mean, I think most of the casuals coming. The only thing outside that I disagree with is the fact that ESPN put this on the plus rather than actual regular ESPN. And I get why they did it right. And in this case, I get why they did it. It's because of college football and all. But but still, like, this is still a big fight. Like, you see, I mean, like, it needs to be on mainstream.
You'll get 2 fight of the years, and they'll feel stupid.
Right. It's just like, and like I said, I mean, ESPN Plus is like, there's like sometimes there's no rhyme and reason.
They'll replay it. I'm telling you, they'll replay it immediately on a regular ESPN on some, because people are gonna like Twitter's gonna blow it up. People are gonna be like, dude, like, what the fuck going on? They should have been on regular ESPN.
Yeah, because I remember, for Zepeda and Baranchik, they did that shit too. Like when them niggas was done, 5 rounds, 8, 9 knockdowns and shit, they immediately aired that shit on regular ESPN.
and it's like they need to be like somebody who's like a matchmaker on the executive level who, like, like when he sees 2 names, he knows, like, hold on, let me green light this for regular ESPN, like, because anybody who knew better knew when you seen Zepeda Baranchek, that's a great fight that you need to have as many casual eyes on that as possible.
Right.
It's just certain fights, and it's like even Pedraza Kome was one of those.
Right.
And that was on Plus, right?
I believe so, yes.
My point exactly. Take it away.
Oh man, but yeah, I can't wait for this card, man. So it should be, like I said, and thankfully there's no other, other boxing cards that take his attention. So 100% you get to focus on that. Forgot what time it actually starts. I think it's like probably. Because I know. There's 3 minor fights before the 2 big ones. So let me see if I can try to find out what time it actually starts. Okay, Mayor Baumgartner. So I guess we get so many of these emails about the fight day. Oh, it's in the afternoon? Really? No, it can't be. It's British time.
Yeah, it would be. Main event probably be at 5.
Okay, yeah, because it starts at. Because I was thinking it starts at 2:30 p.m. ET, so that makes sense. It does. So yeah, where there's gonna be 3 fights before the main and the co-main. So.
Damn, 5 fights.
Yeah,
but that's probably gonna go quick because 2-minute rounds. But still,
2 minutes and there's 6 and the first 3 are 6-round fights. So.
Oh, so it's 3 6-rounders and then the co-main and the main.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, yeah, for some reason I was thinking it would be nighttime, but yeah, if it's live and it's in the UK, then yeah, 2:30 actually makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, not nighttime for them.
Yeah, that's it for them for sure. Oh man, though, but yeah, I think that is about it for tonight. Get our final thoughts in. Pilot, your final thought?
Last weekend was a really good weekend of boxing, couple cards. This weekend should be historic, hopefully, and you know where to check us out at ringgangradio.com, every platform imaginable. Check out The Word Is Up by a Shutter Word to God, and fuck with us, we'll fuck with you, bro. You know what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. AOP, your final thoughts?
Very interesting weekend of boxing we just had, in good and bad ways. Yeah. So some ho-humness, some upsets. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my boy Broadway Joel, who was on the Santos train like the whole week, saying, "Oh, he's sleeping on Santos. He's a puncher and can punch like crazy, and got some skills." And then he upsets Rayo, and I have not stopped hearing from him since.
Yeah, he's nonstop with that shit.
Yeah, but and he's like sending all the receipts because everybody's like, "Oh, this is gonna be an easy fight for Rayo." And damn, you gave him all the bulletin board material you needed, and now he's been, "Oh, what'd you say?"
Yeah, that and scheduling more interviews with more Dominican fighters. Yeah,
I think he's interviewing him tomorrow. I think, or maybe it was today. But yeah, he's got.
It is tomorrow. I think.
Oh yeah,
so.
tomorrow. So say shout out to Broadway Joel.
Salute.
So we got some more stuff lined up for you. So be on the lookout because we got some dope fights coming up. Oh, we got a very interesting. Next week's is going to be interesting, but let's get past this week of fights, and then we'll get to next week's. So we'll get to the geriatric fights eventually, but
geriatric fights.
But anyways, you know what it is, Ring Gang Radio all day. You know where to find us at ringgangradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about that.
Yes, sir. Guess I'll give my final thought, man. Like I said, even though I didn't watch any of the live boxing live because I was on my little vacation, thank God for the instant replay for DAZN and then certain sites where I can go get a replay of the pay-per-view, so I was able to watch those. Still, in my downtime, so it was all good just to see that, and it was a good weekend of boxing. I can't wait for this weekend, and especially the weekend after. Yeah, because that one's gonna be, I can tell that one's gonna be more emotionally charged than usual, not racially charged, because not like but like past fights, but this one would just be like, you got Canelo stands, you got the Triple G stands, and then you got a lot of the in-betweeners and shit like that, and yeah. And the zone obviously making that banking, trying to bank on that fight. Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about that for sure though. And then but also shout out to the NFL starting a new season tomorrow. Can't wait. It's football. It's a favorite sport of almost all of us. All the normal Americans. I'm sorry, but you need to get on board. Pick a Florida team, bruh. And then participate with us.
No, LB, don't pick a Florida team for your own sake.
Yeah,
I mean the Bucks is.
I don't need more heartbreak in my life.
I mean, if you want to do a college football Florida team, go ahead. But pro football Florida teams, nah, you're just gonna end up hating football even more.
Yep.
But yeah, I can't wait for the new season. Shout out to that, and then obviously, thank you everyone that keeps fucking with us. We got more shit on the way as usual. And just follow everything that we do, especially the website and our YouTube. YouTube, listen, like, comment, and subscribe, and tell your friends that they can do the same thing, so that we can all be friends because we do this shit for y'all. Like I said. So yeah, man, Ring Gang forever, and pass it to my man LB with his final thought.
Oh man, pretty good. Solid weekend of boxing last week. Just looking forward to keeping that going this weekend with it's the ladies' night.
What a night.
Yeah, so you already know how it is, man. Make sure you follow us on TikTok and final. Yeah, we killing it on there. Final thing I like to say, just remember, when it comes to fighting in martial arts, is the fighter makes the style, never the style make the fighter.
Okay.
And a lot of people get caught up in that, So just remember that.
That's
fact. Yeah. So shout outs to everybody else around the world that fuck with us, and the rest of the squad. You know what it is, man. So with that, we out. ringgangradio.com.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so for myself, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative. For LB Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist. For King P, Bodega P. And for Conscious Pilot, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.